Okay. Well, I'm a communist anarchist asshole, and I like to argue with people. So here I am. Have
There
you
is some
ever
sort
been
of
poor or rich? Because I've been both, and it is a shit battle. When you're
There's
poor,
different
you
issues.
don't have the means to help yourself, and the
I've been
government
poor.
usually doesn't want to help you either if you're poor.
Okay, but
There is a
okay, were you
separation.
rich? Why were you rich?
Why was I rich?
How did you gain your money?
My father is a multimillionaire who owns his own logging company in Canada. That's how I was rich. And then I moved out on my own and could not get to that caliber of wealth.
Well, of course, you fucking become a millionaire after you move out. Of course not. So,
Well, I don't expect my father to give me all his money now, do I?
so you said you had a nice life, but you wanted to grow as a person, so you moved out. Of course, you're not going to be as rich as him. But what is your definition of
Because the
poor?
classes keep you within your class, no matter
No, it
what or how
doesn't.
hard you
No, it
work.
doesn't. No, it
Yes,
doesn't.
there is. Okay, there is like maybe a handful of people who get out of the class they're born in.
What
And
is
I've
like?
actually fallen from rich to poorer. So tell
Well,
me
then,
where people get out and become okay. If anyone could just work hard and go be a millionaire,
no,
then why
I
isn't
don't.
everyone fucking doing that, Paman?
I'm not a neoliberal. I'm not an idiot. I don't believe that.
You, oh, I think you're not an idiot because right now all you have been fucking saying is idiotic shit towards me and been completely disrespectful. I'm not kidding.
Yes, I know. I am disrespectful to you.
You are, and I would really appreciate it if you fucked off with that.
No.
Well, the question I have then is, if they really believe that's going to happen, why don't they just support unconditional basic income?
What's that?
Or
Because you need to work to be worth anything, Ray.
No, you don't need to work anything. I mean, no. You should, Kelsey. You shouldn't fucking be saying this an anti-communist. You shouldn't be supporting universal
I was
basic
being
income
sarcastic.
ever. Okay, good. Because you're the last person who should fucking support that.
I don't. I think a lot of people cannot work.
But you support universal basic income or no?
I think people should, they have the right to have, to be alive and have the wages to live if we're going to have wages. That's a human right. Your life is
No,
a
it
right,
isn't.
your comfort, your food, your water. If you don't think it is, then that just seems inhumane to me, and you're allowed your opinion.
It's
you know.
not a human right per se. It's a nation.
Why?
to
So
live in
it's so
society.
humans don't have the right to live. Is that what you're
No,
saying? We
no,
have
we
all
don't.
the resources to keep these people alive, like in countries like Sweden, where they give people an income and they find that they get more workers because workers are working out of pleasure and not necessity.
No,
We're
that's not
saying
how it
these
works,
rights don't
everybody.
exist.
This right don't
And the most
exist.
fundamental level, they don't. It's that
They
simple.
don't.
But I'm saying they should.
It's not
Insane that
principle.
you have a country full of people you need to work and maintain and keep country stabilized, but you don't think you should keep any of those people healthy to keep that working?
No. Now there's something wrong. all
How
right?
would
I don't think we should phrase it in a completely moral argument.
Let me talk, for fuck's sake. You always talk over me.
No,
All right.
I
So,
fucking meant
Kelsey, you made an issue. You said humans overall just have a human basic right to live. No. For the universe, for the earth itself, for nature, no, you don't. What makes it a human right for you to live is the nation you live in. And then it's up to the nation to decide what you are going to do.
I don't think personally it's up to any nation to decide what's right for the fucking human
Well,
population.
then who the hell is going to control it? Who the hell's
The
going to
individuals and the community together.
they already do that, and it's still failed.
They don't really do that. We live in a capitalist society, and I live in Canada, which is socialist, which is only slightly left to that.
What?
You could build a commune.
Did
You
you
could
say
do it
that?
right now.
Can I
I
socialist?
couldn't build my own commune. I don't have the funds or necessities to do that.
We'll
Well,
gather some people to gather some funds. It's not that
Exactly.
hard.
You guys always have the weirdest shit to say to me when I talk about that I think people all have the right to basic comforts and living. It's like you tell me to go live in the woods
They have
if
the
I
right
don't like it.
because of the nation.
Because it takes action. Actions speak louder
No
than words.
shit.
Exactly.
So
Here in a debate to talk words. So what are you trying to get from me? I'm here to discuss with you. I'm discussing my opinions.
well, you made the
But-
claim that everyone should have the human right, but
I didn't make a claim. That is my firm belief.
which is also a claim.
People don't actually work hard and get rich magically. That does not happen.
I don't believe that. I'm not Ayn Randian. I'm not that dumb.
No, but
I'm not
you
neoliberal
think people
either.
should be poor and that we need them.
People
It's
will
not
be poor.
that we. We don't decide these things. Capital does.
We don't decide
No,
things.
no. You're
And not only
what I
capital,
use
but
one
also
of
the
your
social,
arguments
like,
against you. Damn it! Why aren't you doing any action now and just talking about it on this podcast about political debate?
Because you keep
Why are you going right now?
you keep making things that we should do this. Like, who's we?
That's the whole point of talking.
No, but you forced me to do. Said this is how it should be. You're forcing. I'm saying
I
it doesn't
forced
have to.
you? Do I have a fucking gun to your head telling you what to think? No. I'm
That's
telling
what
you
you-
my opinion. You can take it with a grain of salt or not.
Okay. Cheers.
I'm a very enlightened baby
Mm.
boomer, and everything you say, little child, makes me chuckle.
He's like
It's
22.
It's not what he's saying. I just love that he's triggered. No, of
I'm
course
triggered
not.
now. You think that's a funny joke?
Of course it is.
No, it's not.
No.
It's really ignorant, actually, because I do have triggers and I have a mental disability, so that's not funny. Thank you.
All right. Yes.
Oh, how can you get a job?
I actually fucking can't.
You can't. There's no way.
Well, there would be a way, but it would be a huge struggle. Right now, I'm recommended to be on disability because of my conditions.
What's your condition, if I may ask?
Borderline personality disorder.
Borderline personality. So
Uh,
there's.
I
is
know
there any way
someone
you do
with
volunteer
has
work
that.
or anything.
I can't really do anything because the second somebody stresses me out, I tend to have a meltdown, and it's usually internal and it completely destroys me.
Okay.
The only reason I'm allowing you guys to hear me get pissed off at you is because I figure we're all in confidence here having a debate. We're adults, we can handle it. But I am going to tell you what is offensive and what isn't, and what's okay to say and what isn't. And I'm telling you right now, triggers are not a funny thing. In fact, I know someone
I'm
who,
going to be nice
listen
then.
to me, Tom, and shut the fuck up for 2 seconds. If you knew this person and they knew you were making fun of their triggers, they'd kill themselves. That's how simple it is and why I don't appreciate it. It's not me you're triggering, but I really don't appreciate the behavior. And if you are a baby boomer, maybe you can take a couple seconds to grow the fuck up and quit making a joke out of everything everyone fucking says. It's really getting on my nerves.
Okay.
No, you can't help yourself.
No, I'm gonna
really
be nice. I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna be nice. Okay. I'm gonna be nice.
We'll see.
He's 22, not a baby boomer.
Why do you fucking call himself that?
It's a
It comes
zoomer.
He acts like he's
Actually,
got, boomer is a mindset.
Scary.
That's an internet joke. That's what it is.
Zoomer.
Well,
Yeah.
thanks for filling me in on that. Anyways, I'm 27.
Well, no, but obviously there are. I don't think that anybody should be punished for
Good.
either sickness.
That's a good belief to have.
Yes,
And I don't think anyone
how-
should suffer either. I don't think
but how
anyone should
can
have
that
to deal
happen?
with discomfort because of their government. I don't think humans should be forced to be a certain way or to live a certain way. I think we are all very much individuals and we all have very much different strengths and weaknesses. And when we come together as a community, we cover all of our weaknesses. Instead, we are controlled by a government that exploits and uses us to the point of death in often cases.
The state is the expression of the human. The humans
Well,
are mostly violent.
Well, I
That's
think that what's
your
kind of missing
We're
from that
social
conversation-
animals.
What's
It's
kind of
mostly men
missing-
who have been raised to be violent that are violent.
Women could be violent too. I'm not
Sure,
saying that
but
men are.
the men who are violent extremely outweigh the women who are violent. So what is that about?
Why do you think people are more and more violent?
I think
Yeah,
a lot of people are
we're-
violent
we're-
because of abuse in their childhood that has been going around as a vicious cycle, mostly from the outcome of the system we live in.
And so why do they commit violence and why do they commit all these crimes?
Well,
It is-
Well,
it
a
is
lot
a
of
question
times
I-
it's self-justified, or sometimes it's mental illness, or who knows, because this is very hard to pinpoint because it's different to each individual. But mostly, in my opinion, I think men are generally violent because that's what they've been taught by society, by their parents, to hold in emotions, to find things funny that are serious, to not take people seriously, to not consider anyone's emotions but their own. I think these are all very real things that are taught to men.
No, well,
Being
joke-
a man myself, I'm saying this.
here's the thing: a funny man with a joke is a grievance. The reason why he's joking is because he's grieving over his.
And
issue.
is that an excuse to hurt others because he's joking?
Do jokes generally hurt people?
Yes, they can if you don't do it correctly.
They can. They can.
Fucking kill a person.
Most of the
Excuse me.
time. Most of the time, it isn't.
Most
I
of
would
the
just
time,
like to say
you
that
should consider that because just because you're not triggered, as you guys like to say it, by most things, doesn't mean others aren't.
No, people might.
I would just like to say that I think it's a mistake to pathologize and like make it about psychology, especially.
Well, no, I
we're originally talking about state violence.
Yes, I don't think a lot of abusive men are mentally ill. I think they choose to be that way.
No,
Because
I think, but I don't think you can say that this is what's causing state violence. Is just
No,
all
but
these
I
people.
can look at it and say this could be a very big factor towards it.
If it well, let me put it this way: do you think there are genuinely less psychologically disturbed people in Switzerland, for example?
I'd say definitely in Cuba there's less.
I mean, Cuba still has a large amount of state violence. I mean, I don't think it's quite the level of the U.S., but
there's a huge difference. Like I've been around the world a few places, and when I was in the States, it's a very different place. You are afraid a lot, and men are scary and sketchy. In Cuba, I could talk to anyone. I could go down dirty roads. Like, yes, maybe there's obviously a chance of violence. There's a chance of violence and everything everywhere. Look at Canada. We like to pretend we don't have violence, but then just the beginning of this year, there was an incel attack.
So
and you would,
humans aren't that virtuous then, huh?
What? No, I think when a human gets abused enough, they lash out in defensive mechanisms that are also abusive.
Do you think this abusive nature comes from the structure we're in for the moment?
I think a lot of it comes from society teaching men how to live
Do you think
and
it's
separating
going to
genders,
win?
and it's just too many things to say right now.
Separate
I mean, if you don't
genders?
like what I'm saying, you don't have to agree.
No, I do think it's more important to teach men how to act like men and not punch a woman.
I don't know what that entails. I don't know what acting like a man means. It really confuses me because gender is actually a spectrum. It's not like a binary.
Well, no. Well,
what exactly? Like are you blaming in particular the state for this, or just culture?
Just culture generally, and it's mostly white culture. Because there isn't as. Why is that funny to you? Why do you fucking laugh at everything, dude? Can you just like give some input instead of just laughing?
So you're saying that every
Like
other
I
culture,
could have laughed
white
at you the
culture.
second you came into this podcast and made fun of you this whole fucking time, but I haven't. I've been giving you basic human dignity as far as I can fucking handle.
So everyone. So it's white culture that creates this. No other
I
culture.
don't think it's
except
just white culture. I said it's mostly. Why do you people keep saying I'm saying one thing?
And that would not be an incorrect statement for him to have made in the context of a Western country, given that obviously white culture is the one that is presently
But
being experienced.
But considering that, reactionary elements and all in the third world take notes from the U.S. and then they use it to their own advantage. They also use Islamist attacks on their own people to torture and kill sex workers, gays.
Okay, but as a white person, I'm more familiar with my own culture, and I see the violence in my own culture.
Yes, but the issue isn't white culture. The issue is you see.
No, white culture is very violent. We have a history of trying to enslave the entire fucking planet. So I don't really know what you're defending right now because we have a completely violent, bloody history, and none of it has been the opposite of that.
It's not a white thing. It's a human thing.
That's a human thing.
When you make it a white thing, when you make it white supremacy, it is a white thing.
Well, I think it's a big mistake to put the impetus in all of this thing